Hello people on the internet, the Rocket 360 here, and I'm back for another review. And this time we actually got another Marvel Legend review for you guys. Today we're reviewing the Marvel Legend Spider-Man No Way Home Sandman, which he was part of the carded line, the Wave 2. I did actually pick this up, I think a couple of weeks ago. I did actually found it at my local Ross. I only actually have a little bit of money and stuff. I didn't feel like coming home empty-handed, so he was the first thing I saw in Raw, well, kind of and stuff. So I started, why not buy him and stuff. So yeah, that's what I did. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? So I don't want guys packaging anyways and stuff. But let's get started, shall we? So if you guys already know, he's actually part of the Wave 2 Spider-Man No Way Home and stuff. The line's been out for like a year now and stuff. I know I'm late for the party, but it is what it is, you know. Before we get started, let's take a look at the accessories real quick. So, he does come with these, grabbing hands right here. You can see, yeah, there's a hand that I put to, like, grab stuff, or, like, yeah, he does come with these hands right here, and also, he does come with these hands where you actually attach them together, and they actually have created a big hand, like in the movie and stuff. He did that in Spider-Man 3, the Tobey Maguire ones. They look nice, but my biggest complaint, I wish they were like fisted hands, or like they could actually create out a hammer and stuff. Literally missed opportunity right there. I don't know why they didn't do that and stuff, but missed opportunity right there. But yeah. Anyway, let's get started. So here we actually got Sandman. It's always glory. Now I do want to mention this. Now I was not interested in the figure at first. I mean, I still wanted to buy him, but I did not want to pay $24. I mean, I did say if I see him on clearance or even at Ross or somewhere, I would actually buy him. And luckily, I paid like $6.99 for this. I think $7 for this guy. So that was a good deal right there. So I got a good deal at Ross. So I only paid $7 for it. So it's worth it and stuff. So if you want to find this guy, I recommend buying him at Ross instead of paying full retail price. He's worth it. Well, kind of. Well, he's really worth $7 and stuff. But anyways, let's get started, shall we? So, here we actually got Sandman with all his glory. And you can see, he's all sand and stuff, just like in the movie. Now, yeah. Now, I mean, in the Lord-wise and the movie-wise, I don't know why he was actually all sand and stuff. Like, that's the thing I never get why he was actually fully sand. Now, in real life, I can understand why they did it, because the actor who plays Sandman didn't show up on set because the whole, like, quarantine and stuff. He did not want to risk getting sick, so it actually happened the exact same thing with the actor who played the Lizard. So, these two actors, I can actually understand why they were not on set. Instead, the only thing that they did is, voice lines, so they voiced the character and called it a day and stuff. So, that's why Sandman was actually CGI in the whole movie. But as for Lord-wise, I don't know why he was sent in Lord-wise. But let's just get started, shall we? Here we actually got Sandman with all his glory, and yeah, it's just a simple simple figure that's all covered in sand and stuff. It's not the best and not the worst thing in the world and stuff, but you know, it is what it is. It's Sandman, you know, who doesn't love Sandman? Anyway, he does actually come with these fisted hands, so there's not really much to talk about and stuff because his design is quite simple. So, let's take closely in the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks amazing. It looks like just like the actor. I don't know what the actor name. You guys can let me know down below. I do forget the actor's name sometimes, so it looked like just like the actor, even in Spider-Man 3. So I do love what they did there and stuff. So the sculpting of the head sculpt looks amazing. So it looks nice and stuff, and keep in mind, it's actually quite simple. You can still make out the eyes, nose, and mouth and stuff. You see a bit of the ears right here. You can actually make out the hair and stuff. So I do love that and stuff. So the head sculpt looks amazing, just like in the movie and stuff, but yeah. In the back, you actually got some more hair texture and stuff, so yeah. In the back, got not really much hair and stuff. You actually do get some, like, dirt effect right here and stuff. Back's quite simple and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, we take a closer to the chest, so, you can see his man nipples right here, it actually has some, like, dirty effect and stuff, to make it more, like, pop and accurate. just sculpting wise, like the texture looks amazing and stuff. So I do love that and stuff. So not really much to talk about and stuff. Right here, we're more in the arm. You can see some more like simple texture right here and stuff. Some more sculpting detail right here and stuff. But yeah, some more hand detail and stuff. So I do like that and stuff. But yeah, you actually have some more sculpting detail right here. Looks nice. Legs right here looks amazing. Now I mean, kind of looks naked and stuff, which he's not and stuff. It's just the sand kind of make it look like. But and again, if I remember correctly, when he was like in sand mode, he did actually had clothes when he actually had sand mode, but it was like made out of sand. But yeah. Anyways, the sculpting right here looks amazing, so I do like the detail right here and stuff. Some more detail right here. And actually have some more nice paint detail right here. So yeah, the legs is quite simple, some more texture and stuff. And you can see the shoes right here covered in sand and stuff, so I do love that. Not much right here and stuff, but yeah. The back's quite simple and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, articulation wise, had some bit of a ball joint. This thing, I mean, he can move around, so he actually has some good articulation. This can move around and stuff, so you can get him in almost any poses and stuff. Arms can move like this. Have some like double joint right here. Hands can move like this. Legs can move like this. You have some joints over here, and yeah. Articulating wide, you can actually give him any poses you want. For a simple figure, you can give him any poses, so let's get started with accessories. So I never put this on, so you have to actually have this grabbing hand, which is, in my opinion, is pointless and stuff. So I'm not gonna display him like that. So instead, we're just gonna get to the main point. Anyways, so he does actually have this big hand he actually did create in the movie, which I wish it was a fifth, or they could have just gave you hands the shape like a hammer, just like in Spider-Man 3. Missed opportunity right there and stuff, but it is what it is. But I do hope they actually make a Spider-Man 3 version of Sandman, because that would have been nice. So yeah, that's what he looked like with one of the hand, which, like I said, I wish it was a fist instead of a grabbing hand. But I don't know why they did that. Anyways, for some comparison, I do actually have some couple figures to compare. So here was one of his weight maintenance stuff. Here is with the Amazing Spider-Man, or yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man, aka Peter 3, played by Andrew Garfield. It looks nice together and stuff. Look at that. I do want to mention, Andrew Garfield's the only one actually have a different packaging and stuff. I think because due to the license and stuff. I mean, I think it's about the license. So I think, like, since they actually have Andrew Garfield likeness, so they couldn't, like, do it for Spider-Man No Home. Instead, they had to do it with the Amazing Spider-Man. But I don't know why it's confusing, but it is what it is, you know. But yeah. Next figure, you know what? One more. Here's the with the goat himself, Ned Lee. Look at that. This guy can solo anybody. I mean, anybody. Look at that. I do hope Ned somehow come back, you know. Because I love Ned. More than Harry, you know. Because Ned is actually the true friend of Peter Parker. And yeah, that's about it and stuff. What I recommend this figure. Now, yeah, he might look bland and stuff, but he does actually have some decent posability and stuff. So I do recommend to put in this your collection and stuff. Besides, it's only $7 at Raw, so I do recommend him stuff. He might be bland and stuff, but at least he's actually fun to mess around with and stuff. But yeah. Anyways, I know the video was a bit short and stuff because there's not much to talk about with him. I'm going to end the video here, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I love, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So bye.